Hey guys! One of the first things people often learn when starting to play jazz is which scales to use when improvising over chord changes. At first, this could feel like a magical tool that effortlessly puts you in a comfort zone while improvising. But it doesn't take many sessions for this honeymoon phase to end. And very quickly you'll realize that even the coolest scales in the world don't mean much when they're just plugged into a chord progression randomly without any real musical context underneath it. So how can we use these scales in a musical and meaningful way while improvising? And how can we practice it in a way that's both methodical and musical at the same time? Today I want to share with you the way I incorporate scales into my improvisation. And I will show you a way to practice it that will transform these scales from being just a bunch of random intervals into a musical device that can help you tell a story with your improvisation. In this video, I will be focusing on tonal harmony as opposed to modal harmony that has a slightly different approach when it comes to using scales in improvisation. So without any further ado, let's dive in. When it comes to scales within a tonal harmonic territory, I distinguish between the chord tones and the non-chord tones, also known as the chord tensions. The way I view it is that the scale is like an open field, and the chord tones are like big trees in the middle of that field. So for example, if I see a G major chord written on a chart, and I improvise over the G major scale, I would view it like that. And my goal as an improviser is to always hear the chord tones and stay connected to them, even when I play the chord tensions. When I practice, I always find it useful to start improvising melodic lines without playing the chords underneath it, which forces me to outline the harmony through melody. To demonstrate this idea, I'll use 3 levels of harmonic complexity, and I will always work with a pair of chords that share the same notes. The first pair of chords would be F major and D minor. I'll use the F major scale to improvise over the F major chord, and the D minor scale to improvise over the D minor chord. We'll begin playing out of time. By improvising out of time, I can focus my full attention on listening to the nuances of each melodic line and take as much time as I want between the notes. While improvising freely over the F major scale, my goal is to always hear the F major chord tones as my anchor. So even if I use lots of chord tensions in my improvisation, I will always hear how they relate to the F major chord tones. Once I feel comfortable improvising over the F major scale and hearing the F major chord tones strongly, I'll shift my improvisation to the D minor scale, which shares the exact same notes as the F major scale. But now my goal is to hear the D minor chord tones as my anchor, and at that point, my improvisation should undoubtedly sound in D minor and not F major. Once I get comfortable with D minor, I'll go back to improvising over F major, and I'll keep going back and forth between F major and D minor until I start to feel very comfortable with those transitions. so now we can move to the in time step. I'll start by playing 8 bars over each chord. So in this case it would be 8 bars over F major and 8 bars over D minor. Now I'll keep going back and forth between the two chords. Once I feel comfortable switching between the chords every 8 bars and establishing the new scale quickly, I'll start playing 4 bars per chord. Then 2 bars per chord. And even 1 bar per chord. Next, I'll repeat the in time step, but this time I'll be improvising with my right hand while playing the chords in my left hand. Now that we finally play the chords on the piano while improvising, it strengthens what we already hear inside, and the chords become the icing on the cake. Alright, let's move to our second level of harmonic complexity. Our next pair of chords would be B flat minor 7 and E flat 7. Over B flat minor 7, we will use the B flat Dorian scale, and over E flat 7, we will use the E flat Mixolydian scale. This pair of scales also share the same notes like our previous example. We will start with our out of time step, improvising over B flat Dorian while hearing the B flat minor 7 chord tones as our anchor. Once we get comfortable with B flat Dorian, we will move to E flat Mixolydian and make sure we hear the E flat 7 chord tones as our anchor. We'll go back and forth between these two harmonic territories until we are comfortable with the transitions. Next we can move to the in time step starting again with 8 bars per chord, then 4 bars, 2 bars, and finally 1 bar per chord. Again, I'll repeat the in time step, but this time I'll be playing the chords in my left hand while improvising with my right hand. Okay, now let's move to our third level of harmonic complexity. The next pair of chords would be C minor 6 and B7 flat 5. For the C minor 6 chord, we will use the C melodic minor scale. And for the B7 flat 5 chord, we will use the B altered scale. Like our previous examples, both of these scales share the same notes. We will start again with the out of time step. Once we get comfortable with the out of time step, we'll move on to the in time step. I'll repeat the in-time step, playing the chords in my left hand while improvising with my right hand. Once you get really comfortable with the in-time step, another challenge you could add is to simply play it at a faster tempo. Alright, so now you can take this method and apply it to any song or chord progression you're working on. The important thing to remember is that no matter what scales you're using in your improvisation, you should always hear the relationship between the chord tones and the chord tensions. Thanks for watching, and as always, please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.